Have you ever looked at a financial chart and just felt totally overwhelmed by all the zigzags and the noise? Well, if that's you, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to cut right through that chaos using a classic Japanese tool that was built for one thing, and one thing only: clarity. So, I want you to really think about this for a second. Have you ever been staring at a stock chart, watching the price jump up and down day after day, and you just can't figure out what's really happening? Is the stock actually going up, or is this just random, meaningless static? It's a super common frustration. Okay, just look at this. On the left, you've got your typical candlestick chart. It's choppy, it's busy, and honestly, it can be pretty confusing. But on the right, that's the solution. See how clean that is, how clear? That's a Kagi chart, and its entire reason for existing is to get rid of all that noise on the left. So let's make it official. Meet the Kagi chart. This thing was actually developed in Japan, way back in the late 1800s, right when their stock market was just getting started. It was literally invented to ignore all the pointless day-to-day price chatter and just focus on the moves that actually matter for the trend. Now here's the part that might break your brain a little bit. Kagi charts work without a time axis. Think about that. Almost every chart you've ever seen plots price against time. Kagi charts, they throw time out the window. The chart only moves forward when the price makes what it considers a significant move. And that, right there, is its secret weapon for clarity. And that's the million-dollar question, right? If it's ignoring all the small stuff, how does it decide what's a significant move? Well, the entire logic of the chart, the whole shebang, hinges on one single crucial setting that you actually get to control. And that setting is called the reversal amount. A really common way to set it is with a percentage, like 4%. So what that means is the price has to literally reverse course by at least 4% before the chart will even bother to draw a new line. You could also use a fixed dollar amount, or even something dynamic that changes with volatility, like the average true range, or ATR. How it's built is actually super simple. Check it out. As the price goes up, a vertical line just keeps going up with it. That line only stops and changes direction when the price pulls back by your preset amount, our 4%, for example. When that happens, you get a little horizontal line and a new vertical line starts heading the other way. That's it. It's so simple, clean, and incredibly effective. Okay, but just drawing those lines is only half the story. The real power, the part that actually gives you these crystal clear trading signals, well, that comes from a little visual trick that's built right into the chart. The lines themselves actually change. And this is where it gets really cool with this concept of yin and yang. A thin line is a yin line, and you can think of that as representing a downtrend. The bears are in control. A thick line is a yang line, and that shows an uptrend. The bulls are in charge. You'll also hear people call the lows waists and the highs shoulders. So, how do the lines flip from one to the other? The rule is just dead simple. When the price moves up and actually breaks above a previous high point, a previous shoulder, the line turns thick. That's your yang line. And on the flip side, when the price falls and breaks below a previous low point, a waist, the line turns thin. That's your yin line. So this is it. This is the main event. This is the key takeaway for actually using these charts. When you see a line change from thin to thick, that is your classic buy signal. It's showing you that the bulls have finally pushed through a previous resistance level. And when a line changes from thick back to thin, that's your sell signal. The bears just broke through a previous support level. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Steve Nissen, the guy who basically brought all of these amazing Japanese charting techniques to the Western world, he put it perfectly. You're just looking for a series of higher highs or rising shoulders for an uptrend, and a series of lower lows or falling waists for a downtrend. The Kagi chart just makes seeing it unbelievably easy. All right, theory is great and all, but let's see how this thing actually performs in the wild. We're going to jump in a time machine and look at a real-world example using Apple stock from all the way back in 2006. Okay, so follow along with me here. Back in May, you can see the chart is in a downtrend with that thin yin line. But then, look at July 20th. The price gaps up and it breaks above that previous high. And boom, right on cue, the line turns thick. That's your crystal clear buy signal. Now, here's the crucial part. Look at mid-August. The price pulls back a little, right? But it doesn't break the previous low, so the line stays thick. The chart completely filtered out that scary dip and kept the trader in the position to ride that awesome uptrend all the way into December. So what's the big takeaway here? The Kagi chart didn't just flash a clear buy sign. What's maybe even more important is that it helped the trader completely ignore the noise of that small pullback. It prevented an emotional, knee-jerk exit and kept them in what turned out to be a fantastic winning trade. Okay, so this is way more than just a cool history lesson about some old-school charting technique. Understanding this idea has some seriously practical benefits for anyone who's just trying to make sense of complicated data. Let's just boil it all down to what makes these Kagi charts so darn powerful. Number one, they are absolute masters at filtering out market noise. Two, they give you these unambiguous buy and sell signals. Three, because of that, they help you see the true underlying trend. And finally, by doing all of that, they can seriously help reduce those emotional, reactive decisions that cost us so much. And that brings me to the final thought I want to leave you with. This whole idea of focusing only on what's significant, that's not just for stock charts. We live in a world where we are just bombarded with information 24/7. So think about it. Where else in your life, in your work, in your projects, in your learning, where could filtering out the noise help you finally see the bigger picture and make much, much better decisions?